Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to INTHESHOPTV. Today we got a fun one planned for you. I kind of already decided that I want to do a flip up bed floor and go ahead and just fuel it from the top. So with that in mind, when you flip that up, seeing all this, it's impressive to us gearheads, but for the average person at a car show, it just looks like a chassis and a rear end and some tires. So I kind of want to focus my attention on making what we see under there when that bed floor comes up look as nice as possible. So that's what today's all about. Just a little bit of a cosmetic thing that I came up with in my head that'll really set this frame off and make it look kind of neat when that bed floor comes up. Guys, before we get into today's video, I'd love it if you can like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. I need all the help I can get. And if you want to see these builds get completed from the ground up, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that little bell notification so you get notified whenever we upload a new video that has to do with this truck or that Corvette back there. All right, so standing right here at the back of the vehicle, if you go to open up a bed floor, looking at a gas tank, you'll be looking at a fuel pump and a sender. But this area right here where our step notches are is at the perfect angle that kind of faces the human face as you're looking this way. So I thought it'd be kind of a cool idea to come up with a panel that fills that space right there that's kind of decorative in one way or another. So that just kind of hits your face right away with something cool as soon as you open up the bed floor. So don't laugh at me too hard, but I kind of jot down my ideas and my sketches on a piece of paper. And it just kind of puts things in perspective. It gives me a way to expand on it from there. So the idea I came up with is basically just a steel plate that goes from one side to the other with mounting tabs on the top and bottom and a custom cut design in the center of it. And I'm thinking about putting a backing plate, maybe diamond plate behind it to make it look really cool, and maybe even illuminating it. So to do something like that, we really need a CNC plasma table. Now, in previous videos, I've been telling you guys that I wanted to get into that and learn that and get a table here so I can start cutting my own custom parts and doing some fun stuff, but I haven't gotten that far yet. What I did do is I joined a lot of the forums and I started downloading the software and started teaching myself. And there's just a huge learning curve. It's gonna take me a while until I'm really competent enough to be able to do that and buy a machine and cut something out for myself. But we're working towards it. But through being on those forums and talking to those people, I reached out to one of those guys and I told them my design that I wanted and I asked if they can cut something out for me. And they agreed. Here's what we came up with. So here's the design we came up with, not on my stupid sketch paper. So the guy had asked if I wanted to have this powder coated, which I normally would have said yes and jumped at the opportunity, but these tabs have to get bent out to fit that profile of those step notches. So I'm afraid if I had this powder coated and then started having to bend this, and once I got it here, I'd crack the powder coat and it would look like shit. So I figured I'd just have them leave it raw steel and sand it. This way I can finish it myself, but I'll get these bent first. I think the first thing I want to do is get this area taped with some blue painter's tape because I'm going to be putting that piece on and off there, maybe scratching this, maybe scratching that. And I just want to keep everything protected so that, you know, until we have it bent and painted and we're just ready to install it, it's probably going to be on and off of here about 20 times. So let's get this taped up and protected so we don't scratch anything or mess anything up. All right, so I've got it up on the sheet metal brake a couple times. I'm just kind of like leisurely bending these tabs up little by little until I get them where I want. I don't want to go too far and have to bend them back and then weaken them. So I think I've got it just about right now where they're sitting kind of flush. I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and carefully mark out my holes where I want to drill. We've got our holes marked out. I think my plan is right now to drill these out the size bolts we're going to use, a little bit smaller actually. So I guess I'll go ahead after that and then tap these holes with an appropriate size tap for the screws that we have, and just hopefully it all lines up. Put it right in. But first I'm going to go ahead and center punch these as close as I can get to center. No matter how hard I try, it doesn't matter. I think I try to get them perfectly centered, and they just kind of look a hair off to me anyway, but we'll figure it out. All right, so those holes are all drilled and tapped. Everything lined up perfectly, thankfully. It took me an exceptionally long time because my tap set really just kind of sucks ass. It kind of reminded me that I need to buy a new one. I also didn't have the appropriate size drill bit. It was a hair too small, so I kind of drilled the hole out and then kind of, reamed it a little bit more with the drill bit. So sloppy, not really the way to do it. You need the proper size drill bit and all that, but it worked out fine and they bit really good. And it's holding real tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this. I just wanted to make sure all the holes lined up and the bolts caught the threads the way they're supposed to. What we're gonna do next is I have a plate that we're gonna put behind it. I kind of want to continue that diamond plate theme that we used over there for a battery box. And I'm gonna stand off a diamond plate piece behind it so that when we paint this like the frame, that nice silver diamond plate shows through against the black contrast. It'll look really cool. I thought it might be kind of a neat idea to weld a little bit of a shelf on the back of this thing on the top. Someplace where we can mount maybe like an LED strip and illuminate the diamond plate. I think that'd be really kind of cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off and see what we can figure out. So I've got just this little piece of flat stock here. It's 1/8. It's about 1/2 inch wide. So I think it's just a hair wider than your typical LED strip. So if I weld this straight like this on the back of that plate, it might make kind of a neat little shelf to stick an LED strip on the bottom of it. Let's give it a try. Well, that worked out pretty good. You can't even see it from the top. I like it. So I went ahead and used some C-clamps to clamp this piece of diamond plate behind it. And I did it in a place where there's not any of the raised portions or ridges of the diamond plate here, so I can drill out and get a nice clean hole and a nice clean standoff. I want to go ahead and mock this plate up before I paint anything. I went to Home Cheapo and I picked up these little nylon or plastic spacers or whatever. I figured they'd be good, better than metal. This way they don't, we don't get any vibration or banging or clanging around back here. They're the perfect width and the exact diameter of the bolts that we're going to use here. So I'm going to give these a shot and see what we look like. Oh man, that looks really good. So we've got the backside set up over here, facing up on some cardboard. I took some 300 and I just gave it a quick sand on both sides to get it nice and smooth. Sometimes those little weld marks will show through and leave a little raised part on the other side. Got some nice even tooth in it, and the back I'm not going to sand, I'm just going to leave it as is, but I am going to wipe everything down here with mineral spirits so I don't have any residual fingerprints or grease or any of that stuff left on here, so we get a good coat of paint. So we're going right back on with the same stuff we've been using, this appliance epoxy enamel. I absolutely love this stuff. If you haven't been watching along, it dries really smooth, flows out really nice, and it just looks great. So on the back side of that dries, I guess we can take off our tape now. So the holes came out really nice and clean. I was thinking about using rib nuts, but I'm kind of glad I went in this direction. It's really, I think, the way to go. All right, so it's the next day, and once again, this dried beautifully, flowed out smooth and flat. So I've got an LED strip here that's 12 volt, and I'm just peeling it little by little and sticking it down to the little leads that we welded on. So I've got our diamond back plate held on, spacers, and you can see the LED tucked in right in there, sandwiched between the two. Let's see how this looks. About you guys, but I think that looks absolutely incredible. It's the little details that just do it for me, I know what you want. You want to see it light up, right? I know, me too. I've tested the LED just to make sure it works before I installed it, but I've not actually hooked power up to it since it's been installed in here in the truck. So we're gonna do that together. So stand by and I'll get a little battery hooked up and we'll check it out. Guys, how cool is that? I had to turn off the lights in the shop because I have these high bay lights that are like 20,000 lumens a piece, and it's like hospital bright in here, even though it may not look that way on camera. It's really, really bright. So it's not, you know, super luminous on camera right now, but I turned off the lights just so you guys get the effect. It's plenty bright. I think it looks really cool. It's just a nice little detail that'll really set this off when you go to, you know, maybe a car show, or you go to the gas station, lift up your bed to fill the tank or something. It's just those little extra things, man, that I think makes projects so cool and so unique and give you that sense of individuality when you build these things. So anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you liked this little project. It wasn't anything too serious, but I think it's really cool, and hopefully you guys did too. Anyway, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. I need the help growing this channel. I'd appreciate it. And I thank each and every one of you for being here and watching along so far. Catch you guys in the next video.